Welcome to Maths with Bob. Today we're looking at the 3-minute series on statistics, hypothesis testing with the t-distributions. Now we use the t-distributions as you know if the variances are unknown. Okay, now we're looking at inferences on the mean difference actually today on a two-sided test. You can see here the normal and the t-distributions are quite similar. Okay, now the statistic we're going to be using, you can see here, is this one here. Now this is actually quite a bit more complicated than we normally have for this is actually a t-statistic coming from the t-tables. Obviously the degrees of freedom is n1 plus n2 minus 2. This gives us the degrees of freedom. n1 and n2 are here, the sample sizes. And at a significance level of alpha on 2, obviously it's 5%, so we're basically 2.5% above and 2.5% below. X1 and X2 are the means of the samples, and these are the actual, this is the differences in our population sample means. We're assuming that's 0 actually, so that's going to be 0. You can see here S1 and S2 have taken over from our sigma, our population's variances I should say. So we are now using our samples variances as representative variances. Okay, S1 squared over n1, obviously the sample size of the first sample, and sample 2 sample size here. You can see obviously with the variances from the sample 2. Okay, now what is the actual problem? Well, the problem is about coffee machines with different sample sizes and different means and obviously different variances, and are they basically taking the same time to make the coffee? This is what we are testing. Is that difference actually 0 or not 0 actually, basically? So let's have a quick look. Now we set up our null hypothesis, okay, and our null hypothesis is that we are assuming that in fact the means are the same, or if you like, the difference is 0. Okay, and the alternative hypothesis is in fact two-sided, and you can see here it's not 0. Now when we put the numbers in, obviously we need to get the actual degrees of freedom. Okay, add these 2 and take off 2 to get 40. We're looking at, you know, because we're looking at a 5%, it's 2.5% alpha on 2 value here. And we put the numbers in, 0 obviously for the mean differences, and we get, you can see here the variances and sample sizes, variance and sample sizes. Okay, 1.709. Now, where is 1.709? Well, not terribly well drawn there, but you can see here it's actually inside the blue area there. Okay, so we are going to be accepting our null hypothesis. Now, just something, these t values are actually come from statistics tables, so you do need to look up the table and for the t40 and go on along and have a look at the alpha values. Okay. Now let's actually have a quick look at what is our conclusion. Well, our conclusion obviously is our statistic is in fact okay, close enough to 0, so it's in the blue region, so we're going to be accepting the null hypothesis in that the information and from the samples is suggesting that the actual means of the two populations coffee making times is in fact the same actually. Okay, and obviously if we accept at a 5%, we've accepted a 1% significance level. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and bye for now.